often. So we were just talking about this Euphoria show, which
Mhm.
is a HBO Max show, I believe, and it gets great reviews. It's very well done. I don't judge things off of its what it's about. It's how the quality that it's done. And we just had a off-camera conversation with my daughter, my 21-year-old, about it because she is a fan of the show. So me and you both don't watch it. You don't watch it, and I don't watch it. Correct?
No, I've done a little research with the trailer and read a little bit about it because I've been asked questions. But no, I have not watched the series.
Yeah, I haven't either. I probably watched a few and stuff. So it is a very intense in the drug usage thing. And we had asked my daughter just now, you and myself, about whether or not how she views it. Is it a positive or a negative? Is it making kids think positive towards drug? Using the word positive and negative is tough because it's almost the opposite in this instance. Is it having a negative impact where kids are going, oh my God, look at their life. They're having a great time. I'm going to try this. Or is there an influence of, ooh, I don't want to live that life. And she went with the former, where she believed as long as you weren't triggered by it from a past addiction, that's the only way. Like, she doesn't look at it and say, I'm going to go and do some drugs now because they're living a good life. So,
yeah. Well, you and I have talked a lot about high profile people with huge platforms, people who have a huge social media presence, who have, done things and people want to be like them. We've seen how that can really turn things upside down, and how it's glamorized by high profile people, sports people in the entertainment world, celebrities, and people want to be like those people. So when they do it and they say, oh, this is okay, or their actions in an acting profile, intimates that, this is something we do all the time, or it looks like they do it all the time, and it's actually harmful. It's a little scary because people do tend to gloss over reality and decide to make that decision that, it's okay for them. It might be okay for me.
Well, I do think in the instance of music and movies that the reality far outweighs the unrealistic. And what I mean by that is, just because a song is about something, like I listen to a lot of hard rock and heavy metal, it doesn't make me want to go out, and they could be singing about murder or something like that. It doesn't make me want to go. It's just a song. But I do think that the artist involved in those things have more power than the song. So, for instance, if this actress in Euphoria, who's very popular right now, I can't even think of her name, but I know she dates Spider-Man and she's in the Spider-Man movies. If she came out, which I think she probably does, because she's a young girl and they're all involved in these mental health and addiction things. And if she came out, I think that would have a more positive message than the show would have a negative message. Do you agree with that?
I think so. And I, harken back to the day, you remember when gaming was so influential with young people and these, shoot 'em up games. And then when these school shootings started, they were really pointing, and even some of the kids that were involved or knew the person said, oh yeah, they were really into, I can't remember the name of some of the games, where, you find different weapons along your trail and you use those weapons to take other people's lives. And that's how you get elevated, gamification, and you get to the next level and get more points and you become more skilled. So, I think we've had a lot of that, and, I call them outside influencers, but they tend to have, really, some people grab a hold of that and they all of a sudden they think they're in a scene and they're acting out. And, those are just scary things. I mean, it's interesting, California now, the governor is going to do here with guns what I think Texas did with, abortion, and try to make it some very strong laws and have consequences. If you use a gun, go to prison kind of a thing, which we technically already had. And, we're seeing this level of violence. You and I've talked about this for almost a year, and it's starting to really escalate. And there was something going on in New York yesterday. I heard on the news today down the subway, and I think it was people that just were mentally off the rails, acting out. I don't know what the details were, but, we've seen some murders and shootings in New York, and they're across the country. And it is just kind of what we forecasted, unfortunately, with what's going on. And, what's interesting now is, COVID's starting to we're turning the corner, so to speak, but we're still talking about it. And I think it's important to do that. But I think we need to start shifting gears and really focus, as a country, on the behavioral health issues, mental health issues, anxiety, anxiousness. But I just saw this poll, was it 17% were not satisfied with the way the country's being run, but personally, we're very happy.